Welcome, everyone, to episode 3 of GrayVee on the City.
The GrayVee on the City this week is Don't Poke the Bear cider from Toronto, Ontario.
As well as Ransack the Universe by Collective Arts in Hamilton, Ontario.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Collective Arts.
Yeah.
Arch and farts.
It's one of those unfiltered ones. You get all the precipitate and still in there.
It's always got precipitate.
Yeah. Chemistry term.
Is it really? Precipitation.
I don't know if they call it that in beer.
I got precipitation in my beer.
I remember that from high school chemistry.
Yeah?
Precipitate.
Precipitate.
Yeah,
Who knew it would be so useful later on in life?
Yeah. 12 years later, it finally came in handy.
How do I describe this beer? Well, it's got precipitate.
Yeah.
What a cool word. 3 syllables. What were you going to say about the can there?
Well, the can, I've always find it's always hard to find it in the store because I really like the beer, but they always change the artwork on the can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This
Well,
one,
that's good.
The artwork from this one is from Spain, apparently.
Couldn't have happened. They're in quarantine.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's all digital now, so maybe it could.
Oh, maybe.
Unless they're containing emails too.
Well, mine's got a pirate bear on it, so
yeah,
that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
He's
like
got
bears weren't badass enough, right?
He's got a gimp eye. Or maybe not. Eye patches are cool.
Yeah.
They're cool. They've made a comeback and they're no longer uncool. I guess they were always kind of cool.
Yeah, there's always a mystique about them, right?
With pirates, you just got to make it cool stylistically.
Yeah.
You got to make it your own.
I
Bedazzle.
kind of like it. You just sort of like own your disability that way.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to hide behind a fake eye.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of owning it.
I think there's a governor or something in the States that has that eye patch.
Really?
Who's in the military.
As you put like little spikes out of it. That's what I would do. You know, when you like were like young and you know you get the spike bracelets.
Yeah.
Maybe I did because I wore a lot of
The grunge
eyeliner and I
phase.
was emo. But yeah, and I would want like some of the spike. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now when I'm older,
Like one big spike coming out.
oh, that would like no. I think that's what you would do because it's like totally weird. It's not a good style choice. Woo! Look at my icicle there. So we're in like what is like week 40 of quarantine or something.
Give or take.
It's been 40 weeks. I feel like we're all gonna get used to it, and then we're just gonna hate people.
Yeah, we all have social anxiety when we come out of this.
Oh, I went to the best LCBO though. I went to the
really?
LCBO in Richmond to get our lovely drinks. And it was like not that they had like a good lineup. Like people were actually lining up with gaps that were appropriate.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too long.
Yeah.
It was long when I left, but that's probably because it took like 20 minutes. I was so excited. But the stock wasn't like, the stock is like, there's definitely like holes in the shelves and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it was weird. Yeah. But
I guess people are stocking up for Easter and
there's
stuff,
a guy,
right?
he was like handing it, like you couldn't go in the store without hand sanitizer. Here's your dose. Here's your dose.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they just gave like people like, I don't know, like Ativan or something like that, something to calm them down. Here you go. Gloop.
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer and some medication.
Yeah.
Like they,
Just in case.
Like they do in the mental hospital. Well, I guess that's why we're going
little
to
white cups.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I guess that's why we're going to the liquor store because that's the medication,
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
Yeah.
Sedative.
A sedative. But yeah, anyways, it was pretty cool because everyone was like really respectful there. I don't think they're as respectful here where we live.
Not as respectful?
I don't know. I feel like the distances get shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just to do with the lines
Maybe.
and whatever. But yeah.
There's always,
There's
always a couple people in line that don't want to respect the distancing. They just go right behind the person in front of them.
Everyone's like,
weird.
oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
But you do like the weirdest things. You're like a Jedi, you know, avoiding people. You're like,
Yeah, taking the long
like
way
this-
around to get to
yeah,
your
there's
thing.
like this weird force field and everyone's like super awkward.
Yeah.
And like, you know, especially because the lineups are like near the alcohol.
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
it's, oh, let's switch spots. Oh,
Yeah,
here I go.
yeah. Yeah, there's always this weird unspoken communication between people, right? You like reading each other's body language and
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you want here?
where are you going? We're good? Okay. Just watch them feel your corner of your eye.
But yeah, it was pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like that lineup. That was a good COVID experience. Write that in my diary today. But I don't know. I think people are going to get super. Well, people are always like super awkward around each other, though, normally.
That's true. Yeah.
I just feel like we're even more now. we're like trying to be nice because we're like so desperate for
Yeah.
social contact or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
At the same time, people are really on edge, right? It's weird.
Yeah. No, it's true.
It's a weird thing that's always in the back of your mind.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
a little
so.
bit. When you're
Should
out and
be.
about anyway, not when you're at home.
Well, it's just like, this isn't normal.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I was watching this documentary recently about animals at nighttime. They have
Nighttime,
these-
daytime.
Nocturnal activities. Because they have these new cameras that are super sensitive to small amounts of light. So even with just a small amount of starlight and moonlight, they can get really high definition photos and video of animals. So I was watching one about animals in the jungle. It's a little ocelot climbing a tree.
What's an ocelot?
It's like a little cat, probably about that big. Got like spots. And
Ocelot with a lot of spots.
ocelot, a lot of spots. And I was climbing a tree to hunt this bird that's perched. And the bird was like awake, like it wasn't sleeping on the branch. It was just like awake, even though it couldn't see anything because it was completely dark. It doesn't have any night vision. So I think like they know it's dangerous at night, so like they have to stay awake and try and listen for things.
What a terrible life.
Yeah. Can't sleep during the day, can't sleep at night. Something there?
Oh, that's like Cody. That's like our little guinea pig.
Yeah. So yeah, they also let the bird jumps. Oh, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry,
Don't worry.
there was something going on with the recording. Something popped on your screen there.
Yeah, the iCloud keeps trying to get me to subscribe, but I refuse every time.
Please sell your soul. The ocelot wants you to do it. So the ocelot's looking at the bird.
So yeah,
that's
the bird,
chilling there.
it chooses a branch, the thinnest branch that can support it.
Stupid.
That way, an ocelot can't climb onto that branch.
Smart.
Yeah, but the ocelot outsmarts it because there's a the bird didn't notice there was a heavier branch above it. So the ocelot just silently crept up that branch, like slowly. It's just like so intense, right? And then finally like jumps down, grabs the bird, and then falls like 15 feet through a bunch of other branches, and then gets caught like 10 feet above water, hangs there for a minute, then drops into the water, and then swims to shore with this bird in its mouth.
Nice.
It just made me really thankful that I don't have to deal with that anymore. I can just go to the grocery store. Can you imagine every time you wanted supper, you had to go out and like
Hunt it. Maybe we'd be
kill
better
something
for
with your
it
mouth?
though. No, not with my mouth. Nope. I got hands.
I got hands for that.
They do the killing. That sounded really murderous. The hands do the killing. It's
Too many
not-
horror movies lately.
Not my teeth. I wonder if the animals are aware that they're being filmed in high definition.
I don't think so.
Because I would personally, as an animal, I would hate being filmed in high definition.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my face would be even
See all the
fatter.
pores.
It'd be even harder to conceal.
Yeah.
My
the
chin.
contouring wouldn't work.
The contouring wouldn't. And this, my chunky bumblebee outfit, I feel like would look extra chunky. I'm just going to take this off because I don't like how it's making my arms look. I don't know why, but there's something about my genetics that I was like gifted with these ginormous arms. I feel like COVID is making me like examine my body. They're huge.
Are they?
Well, and then so when I work out, well, I used to work out my arms a lot, but then I was just like, oh my
they're
Lord,
getting too
if
big,
I
yeah.
get muscle on top of my ginormous arm structure.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just like when I put on weight, I put it on my arms and my thighs.
Yeah. Your body does have an order of where it puts on weight first.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So it's my arms.
Yeah.
That's great.
So guys, it's usually like the belly and the
just-
thighs.
When I like neck crush someone, what do you call that? Chokehold.
Yeah. Just rear naked choke. Yeah.
Same with my thigh. Like I just squish a skull with it. Wah.
Make it really far in those cannibalistic tribes in the Amazon.
Right?
How many human hearts did she eat? Holy man.
Anyways, that's how I feel about my body this week. Boop, 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 boop. And it's only going to get worse the longer I stay inside.
Is it worse not going out? Does that make it worse?
I don't know. I think it's just the cycle, the flow of things.
Yeah.
You know, in your brain holes, what
Yeah.
goes on there. I think it changes how you feel. But it's definitely like, I don't know. I think you think more when you don't have a lot to do, right?
Yeah, it's true.
And then you think, oh, I should be like healthy and working out and stuff. And you like do, like, you know, you've been working out and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, what you're not getting up and walking around.
It's not the same, yeah.
It's not the same, yeah. So I don't know. I start to think. That's my thinking noise now. That's a new, I've done that sound effect like 5 times. So I watched this 16-minute video on how to like use makeup to fix my face. Because obviously I can't go for surgery right now. Just kidding. Not going for face surgery. But obviously I can't fix it. So I was like, oh, makeup, yeah. I was 16 minutes. These people take 16 minutes to
That's
do
first thing in the morning too. You're just laying in bed watching this video.
I do my makeup on the bus sometimes. Yeah. Stab your eye.
Yeah.
That's I would get an eye patch. That's how I get an eye patch. Just sitting on the bus doing my makeup. Anyways, so they were like, okay, so basically what you have to do is if you have a fat chin, they call it a short chin, which I think is like, it's really nice. It's a nice way of describing the fact that you eat too much.
So I guess they're measuring it from the neck out?
No, they're just trying to make themselves feel better.
What's a tall chin look like?
Ooh.
So that's all sunken in.
I've got a tall chin. Ooh. But yeah, so instead of calling it a double chin, they call it a short chin. So I got a short chin, right?
Okay.
So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to put a whole bunch of brown makeup underneath your chin. So you look like you have a 5 o'clock shadow.
All the time. Like the sun's above you all the time. It's just always dark
underneath your chin. So when I did it, I looked like, I don't know, like a spotted cow. and then when you do it, and then your fat folds, because it's going to do that because you move your neck all the time, right? So when your fat folds, you notice it's extra dark. Two-tone. So unless I was a really good makeup artist,
I mean, the people putting out videos are going to be like professionals, right? So obviously they're going to look great. But when you try it at home, it's not going to translate.
I looked in the mirror and I realized how much hair people have on their face.
Yeah.
There's all these little fuzzies.
Yeah, peach fuzz everywhere, right?
Yeah.
It's all over your body, though.
Yeah, I know, but like when you put powder on it, it makes it
true.
seem pretty bad.
Yeah.
Anyways. I don't know. It was pretty funny. I went to the store. I was getting essential items, okay?
Yeah.
Essential items. But I also bought like some sort of Are you recording this?
No, I just thought of something to bring up later.
Okay. Gotta write it down because Vanessa's gonna rant for about 20 more minutes about this.
So don't forget it. Yeah.
Makeup. So I went to the store, buy essential items, and then I just so happened to like maybe pick up one thing of makeup. So kill me, okay? Get me the COVID. Anyway, so I got it, and I was so confused because like they told me I needed highlighter and concealer and contouring and highlight and conceal and foundation and all this stuff, and then primer. You got to prime your face.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it's like painting a house. You got to prime it first.
I was just so scared. And I didn't want to ask anybody because then they're gonna look at your chin unnecessary. That you're But there was a cosmetic person there, so like we're telling everybody. What?
Yeah, there usually is, isn't there?
Like, well, yeah, but like we're talking about like essential stuff, and I felt ashamed because I was like looking at makeup.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
and then here's this like cosmetic person, and people are just like they don't care.
Yeah,
they're just like, oh, what shade of lipstick will look good on me?
Gotta look good for when I don't go out tonight.
Is this berry flavored?
It's weird, those cosmetic ladies at like shoppers and stuff, they like double as a greeter because they always put the desk for cosmetics right by the door.
I know. Well, they have to. There's like, I don't know. They have to say hi.
Yeah.
I hate it when people say hi.
I know. That's why I love wearing headphones in stores. You just people don't bug you that way. That's what's great about H&M. I don't know if you noticed, but you go in that store and no one says hi to you. It's great. I love it. No fake, how are you doing? Like, they don't care how you're doing. Just
Well, maybe in the men's section too. But yeah, you're right. Like, it's a big enough store. I think they're busy enough that like they don't really need to aggressively. It's like those tiny stores. Like,
yeah, they'll get after
it's like
you.
the pressure of his own. Boy. And as of COVID-19, I don't wear deodorant anymore.
Oh,
so
nice.
that would be a surefire way to get them to avoid me.
Yeah.
Maybe if you just look dirty. I don't know.
Just put more contouring all over your face.
Anyways, but yeah, I don't know. I don't like when they assault you.
Yeah, me too.
Because I take a long time to make decisions too.
Yeah.
Like frustratingly long.
Yeah. Sometimes you just want to browse around too. You don't want to just.
Sometimes I'm that person that gets like 10 items and I go in and the fitting room is like so poorly lit that all 10 choices look awful. And so I just leave.
Without anything?
Without anything. Without anything. Because I'm so fired.
Yeah.
But their lighting, they really need to work on that because some lighting in fitting
Maybe they're trying to
rooms
make it so everything looks good, but it's having the opposite effect.
Oh, yeah, some of that stuff. It's the same thing with video cameras and like regular cameras. I feel like, man, camera adds like 10 pounds to my chin.
Yeah. That too high of definition will get you.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. What was the thing you wrote down?
Oh, well, you mentioned the peach fuzz all over your body.
Oh,
and maybe
tell
think
us
of
the
a
story
theory that people have
about peach fuzz.
about how, like, compared to our relatives, like chimpanzees and gorillas, they have hair all over, right?
Yeah.
But let me back up. You look at like other animals that have been domesticated, like orcas in big tanks. Their dorsal fin flops over. Dogs, their fur is softer, they're friendlier. Their ears flop over.
But that was just because of like inbreeding. Not inbreeding, but like breeding weird.
No, there's something about being domesticated
and
being in an environment where you're forced to be friendly, that you have physical changes. And so people think that humans self-domesticated themselves, whereas they either killed or exiled people that were too violent or too aggressive. So we sort of self-domesticated, and that's how we lost our hair.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, we killed off the hairy people. And I was like, I don't think that's true because there's a lot of hairy people. You just have to go to the spa and you see them all. So we lost our hair because we didn't need it anymore?
Well, I'm sure we could have used it at some point, but... Because, I mean, chimps and stuff, they still live in hot environments, but still have hair, right?
Yeah.
It's weird.
So why do
But
we
they're
end
not
up
domesticated
hairless?
yet. Because of the domestication. We're living in more friendlier and friendlier societies.
So we don't need the hair because the hair did what? It protected
Well, I don't think
us?
it's about even need. It's just something weird that happens about domestication.
Just what else did it take away?
Like, why would a whale's dorsal fin flop over when it's in a tank? There's no need for it to be flipped over, but it does for some reason.
Okay. So domestication does stuff. Well, yeah, because if you're given food all the time, then you don't need to, you know, like our cat, like she's fat.
Yeah, she's soft. She's friendly.
She's, you know, but she's given food all the time. So she can sleep.
Exactly, yeah.
In her box, you know.
Yeah, it is something weird about when the instinct to be aggressive isn't there. And something changes physiologically. It's weird.
But I always say humans are so aggressive in like such different ways now.
We're more aggressive on the larger scale as opposed to
like not physical aggression. I think that we've taken that physical aggression and we've turned it inside to
self-aggression maybe.
I don't know, to like social aggression and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like online.
We can't punch people, so we're just like, ooh.
That's where like online trolls come from, probably.
Yeah.
Trying to fill that void.
I don't know. I think that also it's the attention that they get.
Yeah, that's a lot of it. But...
Yeah, it fulfills their ego, right?
Yeah.
To just annoy people to the utmost degree.
Yeah, they're like causing a ripple just to cause some sort of distortion in the society. Yeah. I'm always curious what the age range of trolls is too. Like, it's just high school kids messing around,
or is it like grandpas? Oh my lord, that's what we should do when we're older.
Just troll the younger folk.
Internet trolls. I always thought it would be Like that old lady that just like throws Rice Krispie treats at kids' faces. Get off my lawn!
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, there's hope. I feel like there's a lot of like older people, like elderly people that get famous on like social media. I want to be like goal setting. I want to be one of those people.
A famous old person on the internet?
A famous old person on the internet.
Make that happen.
That doesn't even understand. Like at that point, it probably won't even be the internet. It'll be something else.
Yeah, it'll be like virtual reality.
Virtual
internet.
reality net.
Yeah.
And I want to be that old person that doesn't understand it. And that, like, you know, their younger, like, grandchild shows them, and then they become famous, but they don't even understand it.
They don't realize they're recording themselves in the shower.
What?
Virtual reality.
What's this? What does that do?
Because by then it'll be like implants in your eyes that just record what you're seeing, right? It won't even be like a giant headset.
Is that what's going to happen?
Probably. Wouldn't surprise me.
Cool. Something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Super exciting.
Would you get that, you think?
I don't even trust laser eye surgery. Okay? So no.
Some employers, where was that?
The military makes you get it.
What?
Laser eye surgery. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, that doesn't surprise me, but I was going to think about some employer somewhere was offering their employees to get like an implant in their arm to act as a key code. So instead of like swiping a card to get into a certain room, they could just swipe their arm.
That's disgusting.
Is it?
No, that's so invasive and disgusting.
Yeah.
So like I understand the military, you know, and sports people getting like the laser eye surgery.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
Although I think like, I don't know, the risks just freak me out. You can't get your eyes back, okay?
Yeah. I feel like that's pretty down pat nowadays though.
I don't know because I've heard of like staph infections where like multiple patients lose like both eyes and they're a little diseased and pus is coming out.
I wonder if that's like one doctor doing a bad job or something.
Well, yeah, but like, how do you know? How do you know when a staph infection's going to happen?
Are there Yelp reviews for doctors?
And if you lost your eyes, how would you type that? Oh,
They got vocal commands now.
I
So.
know.
iPhone, open
That
Yelp.
was just dark. That was dark.
Took a turn.
But where was I going with this?
Doctor.
Yeah, but no
specifies.
implants in your skin. That's disgusting. That is
Is it?
disgusting. Yeah. Have you?
Why?
Oh, I watched this video once.
It's only like like a centimeter long though, like 2 millimeters wide.
No.
Or actually a little longer than
So
that.
what happens when you get like that
Wider.
infected and then you lose your arm, then you sue the company,
There you go. That's fine.
get a whole bunch of money.
Yeah. I'm sure they're still sterile though.
I
The
don't
implants.
know. We
They have to
can't.
be.
No.
What do you mean
No,
no?
we can't install.
You're not going
things.
to HR and going, here, have my arm. I'm sure there's
But
some
it's a
sort
condition
of
of employment. You know, if you need access to a certain room, the condition of your
Well, I
employment
think at
is
this
that
point
you
in
give.
time, it's optional to get it. I don't think it's
Better be.
mandatory.
Ugh,
Someday it's
disgusting.
going to be mandatory, I bet, for certain
Well, then
companies.
they could track you for anything.
Yeah, exactly. That's freaky, right?
That's really disgusting.
And someday,
I am disgusted.
like what happens is a day comes and they start implanting babies with weird chips
Well,
for who knows
okay,
what.
but like they're putting tracking devices now. But you know what? We do this to animals.
I mean, we already have tracking devices with our phone. Like they're tracking us through that, right?
Yeah, but you have the option to turn that off. What am I
Only
supposed
so
to
much
do?
though. I bet they still track it though.
I'm just supposed to dig it out of my skin.
It's a movie like that. What movie was that?
Minority Report. I feel like he did something.
No. Wasn't there a movie some guy claimed to be from? No, I think that was a different movie. I don't know. Forget
Probably
it.
there's
We'll
probably
forget
been a
it.
movie about it for sure. Yeah. But no.
Oh,
but we do
Beautiful
it
Mind. That's what it was. He was trying to dig out. He thought there was some implant in his arm that would
Yeah.
open the mailbox or
Yeah,
something.
but he made that up. So
Yeah. Well, yeah.
yeah, and
His alternate ego made it up.
yeah.
That's a crazy movie.
But we do that to animals now. So now I'm thinking
yeah, we
about
should
it.
get that for Ray actually.
Yeah, the little chips.
You think
So
she would
now,
object?
like, I oppose to it in females.
Oh, so males got to take the hit. Yeah, okay.
In humans, but we do it in animals. But I feel like that's because, like, I don't know. I feel like it's okay in animals, but not in humans.
That's what we'd be famous for on the internet. You'll be old and be like, I don't know what these people are getting microchips in their arms for.
It's
You
injustice.
just these young kids these days don't care.
I don't care. They'll just put anything in their
Yeah.
orifices. Just open their skin up for anybody. get sewed up by these black market doctors. But it is gross, I mean, if you think about it. Although for someone that loses their keys a lot.
Yeah, I could use that for
yeah,
sure.
you could use a lot of different things. You just swipe your arms.
Yeah.
Oh, elbow.
I mean, if I had an option to like hide sunglasses in my face, and like when I go outside, they can just come out, and that'd be great.
That's horrific. Well, your face would look like a sunglass.
No, if there's a way to hide it, you go if you
That would never
yeah.
happen. Sunglasses are big.
Modern day sunglasses. Get some sort of
Look at where it
nanotechnology.
just pushes your brain back. You store it in your skull.
If they make it so it's flexible, if it's flexible when it goes into your body, but
Okay.
it becomes rigid when it comes out, that would work. They can make that, I bet.
Think of all the malfunctions.
Oh, I don't want to be the test group for it, that's for sure.
Testing it out.
Yeah.
These poor guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Like little mice birds. Humans are into weird stuff these days. Oh boy, that's too fun. I feel like we're just getting more and more ridiculous with
That's
this
okay.
whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
Your brain just.
Actually brought up mice. Oh, I wish I could remember. I was only like listening to it in the background, but I was listening to a podcast the other day, and this guy was saying that they discovered the mice that are being used in labs, there's something wrong with their genetics, where a lot of the experiments that were running them aren't reliable anymore.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They've just been breeding the same mice. Cool. Cool.
Something weird like that. Yeah. I gotta
That's
go back
great.
and rewatch it, but yeah, some funny
Perfect.
business going on.
Funny mice business. But it's true because if they're like just, I don't know, interbreeding these mice, then these mice have certain
Yeah, I
features,
think
right?
all the labs get it from one company. It was like Jackson or, yeah, I want to say it was Jackson Labs or something that they breed these mice. I don't know what the procedure is, but yeah, apparently there's some mutation in their DNA that makes it not compatible with us. Or yeah, I gotta go back and rewatch it. But.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So don't try any
For like
of those
decades now,
newfangled
probably, yeah.
drugs. Oh. Just wonderful.
Yeah.
Just wonderful. Well, that's like one thing though. If you're testing anything on, a person or what, like we all react differently, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you'd have to have a pretty diverse set of mice. So to get them all from one place, like it's almost like if you were doing like a study on, I don't know, human differences, you wouldn't get everybody from the same small town
Exactly. Yeah.
to study and say, oh, well, this will translate to the larger population. So I think biologically, yeah, all the mice are the same, but not really because there's DNA, there's factors in there, right?
Yeah.
Like every
Because
human.
these aren't normal mice, right? They're all like
They're super mice.
Yeah, there's a reason they're all white and stuff, right?
They're bred specifically. Oh, they're white because it shows.
Well, I'm not sure why they're white, but they're all
Is
basically
it
the same
because
type of mouse.
maybe that would show changes more prominently?
Maybe, yeah, like skin changes and
Skin
stuff. Maybe it's hard
changes and
to
stuff,
or
yeah.
easier to detect that.
But so what makes this mouse different? It's white, and it's
Yeah, I don't know. I check
Okay.
that out.
okay.
Yeah,
But it's got different genes.
yeah, from other mice apparently. Yeah,
Weird.
yeah,
Oh, that makes sense.
yeah.
That would be a problem. So what do they do? Oops.
I know.
That's a big oops. I wonder.
Oh, we didn't think of that. Oh my god.
The person that discovered that, like,
Yeah.
oops.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Let's brush that under the rug for another decade.
I love those moments though when
Yeah.
people are just like,
I know
oh,
human error is so like you can't escape it, right?
it's
gonna happen.
so
at some
true.
point.
It's just and this domino effect, especially if it's
Yeah.
like something big. You're like, oh, asbestos is harmful. Whoops.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Numerous lives lost. Whoop.
So we need the AI sooner than later.
Yeah.
Get rid of that human error.
Jeez, no. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I feel like it will work out for some people. You know what I really think the artificial intelligence, like drones and stuff like that, I think that is really good for that like silly factory mundane work. Like Amazon,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
having drones instead of like torturing the human beings it
Yeah.
works for. But the problem too is that would create such a gap in terms of employment. Like as much as we want to say factories and even Amazon are awful and terrible, and they are.
Yeah, they employ a lot of people.
But they employ people, and when it comes down to it, having a job that sucks versus not having a job and not knowing how you're going to feed your family.
Yeah. It's a weird thing, though, because the way technology is going, it's like, yeah, it's going to be in factories, but beyond that, keep going a few years further, it's going to evolve into outside the factory, too. Like, even, I can't remember if it was breast cancer or a different type of cancer. They would do a scan, and they would compare doctors' analysis of the scan and AI or computer analysis of the scan, and the AI was like 90% accurate, whereas the doctors were only 80%. So they're already surpassing doctors in that way.
Yeah.
So it's only a matter of time before they start reaching into different
I don't know, but those
life.
self-checkouts at the grocery store ain't that smart. Okay? They're not that smart.
No, they're smart as the person using them, I guess.
That's my defense against artificial intelligence. Those self-checkouts ain't that smart. It's true.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I heard those self-checkouts, they know people are going to steal a bit through them, but they took the amount of money they would assume they would lose through that and compare it to the wage they would pay people, and they would lose less money than they would paying someone.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you think about it, and
if you only pay for one head of lettuce instead of two, don't feel guilty. The company doesn't mind.
I never do that.
Of course not.
I never intentionally do that. Sometimes I forget that certain vegetables are measured in quantity and not weight. And maybe I'm tired. And I haven't had enough coffee. But I always wondered about that because the floater doesn't seem to be really overly concerned, you know? Like even with the whole like ID checking and stuff, there's a lot of places that don't do it anymore. But when you could self-check out, and like you'd have to get your ID checked or whatever, the guy would just be like, who cares? I'm having a conversation, you know?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
To check the IDs, but it's interesting. I don't know. Artificial intelligence. I don't think it would be that. I think the problem is like the malfunctions, right?
Yeah.
So I think that, I mean, a lot of us, if you think about that, would then have technology, the demand for education and technology, right? So I think that as much as we create these things, I think it would take away from the job market for sure.
Yeah.
But it would also create this surplus of demand for, you know, people that have that technological background and mindset. So it would create a surgence. But if you think about the people that could theoretically, you know, deal with computerized parts and technology, these are often people that are coming from certain subsets of the population, right? They're not going to be like, you know, someone that was, I don't know, born disadvantaged and, you know, wasn't able to go to school and stuff like that,
grow up
you know?
with computers and stuff.
Exactly. So I think it's hard because I think that as much as we see technology as a good thing, it's going to create different things. But it's the same with the whole local movement, you know, like localization and stimulating the economy within the economy, you know, within the country. I think, you know, if we take these factories away from poorer countries, and return them to the country of origin to create localized products, then by proxy, millions of people are unemployed, right?
Yeah.
So as much as we support that, I think we're so embedded now in terms of globalization, in terms of this third world participation in our economy that
Yeah, it's true. That's a good point. Because even like when the machines take over more and more, they're the ones that are going to lose the jobs, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So either way, it's going to affect, you know, certain subsets of the population. That's freaky.
Yeah. But even like the tech people, like given enough time, that AI will even take over that eventually.
So what are we going to do? Are we just going to be like fat people that like
Yeah, it'll be like what's that movie? Wall-E.
Wall-E, yeah.
people
That's what I was
just
thinking of, like the
floating
giant,
around and-
the giant fat people that are just
Yeah.
floating in pools.
That would become like the gray aliens, just skinny bodies and big heads,
Maybe,
atrophy, and yeah,
we just atrophy. We can't
yeah.
use anything. No, I don't think so. I think humans too are smart enough to like employ it in certain areas, like the mundane tasks, but I don't think we're gonna go out of, like, I think that we're smart enough to realize, and there's enough decision makers involved that are gonna say, hey, this is gonna put this many people out of jobs, it's gonna affect the economy this way, So I think that I would hope that humans are smart enough not to put themselves out of work. Like,
I don't know though.
but I don't know. It just goes to this whole notion too of separating ourselves from even further from the ability to survive, and I think that that's really freaky.
Yeah. Well, there's this one guy. What's his name? Graham Hancock, I think his name is. He has this idea that he has evidence saying the pyramids, I think, are a lot older than we think. That there was this advanced civilization back in the day, not as advanced as us, I don't think, but still more advanced than we think they were, and that there must have been some sort of global cataclysm that pushed them back like 1,000 years or something.
Yeah, because that's pretty advanced technology to do.
Even the pyramids, yeah. Are
I thought
crazy
they
advanced.
used like slaves and stuff to build that though.
I've heard that too, but his argument against that is because they're so precise of a building that you can't just have laymen build those things. Like they're so precise that you need educated people to be even a part of it. Yeah,
like in terms of measurement and
yeah,
so it's almost like craftspeople.
and your alignment and how highly
Interesting.
skilled craftsmen and stuff. Yeah, and just the blocks are so gigantic. Like he was saying, like people thought they just had these long ramps that would slowly bring them up, but he said the length of the ramp would be so gigantic it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, it's really weird.
I love that these things have literally existed and been examined so many times. And this guy's just like, did you guys not notice
Yeah.
how heavy these bricks are?
Well, one of his evidences, that's not a word, but
One of
one of his exhibit A. is, the Sphinx has a certain type of erosion on it from a rainfall.
Okay.
But the point in time that rain would have been a factor enough to have made that erosion was way before we think the pyramids were built.
But that's also based on the assumption that the rain was the same, right? As our modern day, like what rain is he using? What if it was highly corrosive rain?
I guess it could have been acidic, but I feel like you're more likely to have more acidic rain in modern times.
Yeah, maybe. And also, I feel like there would be reports of that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you would have been. I'm sure there would have been some sort of sediment analysis you could have done.
Yeah, some sort of historical report of more acidic rain. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know.
But so yeah, they think the whole human timeline has been rushed. They think
oops.
Yeah, no, the oops moment.
Oops. What? I didn't do that. Well, that's it. That's something. Isn't that something?
It's something.
We don't change the whole timeline. I wonder how many times we've done that, though. Oops. Let's change the timeline of how we understand things. How do they progress?
Oh, yeah. I mean, think about, we used to think the earth was flat, right? And then like, oops, it's not.
No, but we still do.
And then we prosecuted people for thinking the earth was round. Like, nope, you're going to jail.
And now we prosecute people for thinking the earth was flat.
Yeah, at least we're not putting them in jail and executing them for thinking it's flat. Like,
that's true.
We've evolved somewhat.
Yeah, I think so. Now, or maybe it's just the topics in which we persecute people have changed.
Yeah.
Something to think about. But yeah, I think with all this stuff, I still feel like there's this innate need for us to figure out how to actually survive by ourselves. And I think that a lot of people are turning to that kind of hippie lifestyle as the roots. And, it kind of, especially in situations like this, you start to think, well, just something as basic as knowing how to grow your own food and knowing how to build things and whatever. Like, I think that that's super scary that we don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
And as much as as much as artificial intelligence exists and like whatever, I still think at a certain baseline, like in a situation like this where systems are failing everywhere because they don't have, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we just need to have that baseline knowledge.
Yeah.
And the more and more technologically advanced we get, the less we have that baseline on.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
You're way more likely to, if a cataclysm does happen, you're going to fail for sure.
And
on
it's,
a grand scale.
I feel like, I don't know. It all comes back to this separation of the individual from the product of their labor. And the alienation of the workforce and everything like that.
Yeah.
Which is what Marx first talked about when he started to see, you know, production separated from, you know, the craft person. So basically, you don't know how to build a building anymore. You rely on all these different people. You're so alienated from what you are creating.
Yeah.
And you're literally just a cog in the system. And I think that the more we become technologically advanced and more complex, the more we become people that can't figure out, you know, what we're part of.
Yeah.
Which is scary.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
why...
I'm going to start a cult. Called Let's
It's
Grow
especially
Vegetables.
scary living in a city because it's one thing to learn how to grow vegetables and stuff, but like us, we only have so big of a yard. That's not going to feed us for a year. So then you want to branch out, like, okay, there's some grass over here. We'll dig that up and whatnot. But there's going to be hundreds, if not thousands of people around you that are also looking for land to dig up. And then you're just forced to leave the town.
Well, this is, and I think
freaky.
this is the other factor of, you know, modern day development, modernization, and the building of civilization and creating profit through sectioning off very tiny pieces of land, you know, in convenient areas for people. I think that, you know, it goes hand in hand with the fact that you need the system. You cannot self-sustain, right?
Yeah, it forces you to rely on the system, right?
Exactly. Because...
But if you didn't rely on the system, then all your time would be devoted to making food and stuff.
Yeah, but I
Which
think...
is because we wouldn't have time to make a podcast if we didn't have that, right?
Yes, I think that it affords you something, but I think the interesting caveat to it is there's linkages to anxiety and depression and stuff like that in us not feeling accomplished
for
and
sure.
not being able to really know our place and everything. You know, like when you're creative, when you create something, like even when you cook something from scratch, you get like this amazing feeling. Well, most people do.
Yeah.
Right? Unless, I don't know, unless you like burn the crap out of it or something. You do. You get like this feeling like you're creating something.
Yeah.
And I feel like, yeah, sometimes we get that at work, but other times we feel like we're so detached from what we're creating.
Exactly.
That no one really cares.
Yeah.
At least when I, you know, cook something, someone cares. I care, you care, you know.
Yeah.
And you get so much more reward. And I think that's why people are turning to crafting and knitting and sewing and stuff like that, because we're not getting rewarded like that in our careers.
Yeah.
And I think that as much as like, I don't know, I think that's something to look into for next podcast is, you know, looking at even farmers.
Yeah.
And looking at how things were. Now, mind you, back in the day, there were also things that were negative that would influence anxiety and depression, right? But I think there's something to be said for the fact that even just having a little bit of being able to sustain yourself so that you don't rely so much on that wage that you're earning, I think that would have positive effect.
Yeah.
You know, so that, you know, maybe you could work part-time and you could sustain the rest throughout your lifestyle, right? But yeah, it would take up some time. But maybe that time is, you know, something you enjoy.
Yeah. I always think like the way we evolved was always like thinking and figuring stuff out and trying to invent things, right? Like, yeah, we just sort of lost that in a way. We're sort of just in the routine of just getting things done and going through the motions of doing it.
Yeah.
But we don't have that strive. Well, we have the strive, but we just don't have an outlet as much to
Exactly.
get that sort of creativity out.
Exactly. I think a lot of people suffer from that, you know,
I
particularly.
think that's where a lot of anxiety comes from, just not having that outlet to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a huge theory. That's probably been studied, you know, by many people, is the fact that the workday is set up so that you go to work, you come home, you cook dinner, you know, if you have children, you deal with the kid, you deal with the kids,
Yeah.
and then you have no time for creativity.
Yeah.
So how do you bring that creativity back? If you still want a family, if you still want, you know, that certain wage, I think the only way you can do it is by cutting back something. Oh, I lost the children. I have so much time now. No, but especially too if you have like a crazy stressful job that just drains you. You know, sometimes I feel that way where I'm just like drained. So I just don't want to be creative. Yeah. But I think working from home, you know what the interesting thing about working from home is if every employer said, you choose your hours. You have to work 7 hours or 8 hours in a day, but you choose it. And yes, you can work from home. You know, we still have offices and stuff like that. And maybe they would say you need to be in the office from this time to this time, or at least like a 4-hour chunk of the day. But the rest of that time is yours and you do it how you see fit. I think that would be really cool.
For sure.
Quite radical. And I think that they would see an increase in production.
I'm wondering, with all this COVID stuff going on, people working from home, if companies will realize like, oh, we don't have to actually build these huge offices. We can scale that back, save some money, have people work from home.
Well, this has been a model for, you know, places like Shopify and a lot of different other kind of, I like to say new age businesses, right? Yeah. Where they just don't spend that money. Yeah. And it saves them a ton. And then they give it to the worker. They say you can have this allowance and you can buy this equipment to make your office comfy. Yeah. And they also have a vibrant virtual social life as well. I mean, there's tons of articles that are written about how you create a sustainable workforce that's remote. Yeah. And it's weird, but I honestly thought I would be more against it and find it weirder. But now that I'm in it, I'm kind of like, okay. I think it's just giving people the choice. But we're so concerned about how to trust people, you know, and there's such a fear of people taking advantage that I think working from home can be scary.
For the employer.
Yeah. But I would venture to say there's probably an article that says how many people in an entire workforce already take advantage, you know? Yeah. So,
being in the office doesn't stop people from going on Reddit or YouTube, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah. And I think being at home, you know, if we had the ability for a few hours, or maybe just to change how our workday runs, you know, in terms of the time, then I think that would be really interesting. A lot of parents too. I mean, you know, they have to spend all this money on daycare and after school daycare and stuff. And it's all based on this idea of the rigidity of the work.
And the commute too, for so many people. Like some people do like 2-hour commutes every day.
Exactly.
Forward and back. So like 4 hours.
Especially if you're in like prime time, right? Yeah. So if you look at
the stress of that is just going to kill productivity.
And if you look at something like the LRT, if you say to people, you have to be in the office 4 hours, you know, every day. But the rest of the time you know, figure it out from there. Yeah. Then I think that the reduction of the stress on the bus system, you know, less traffic on the roads. Yeah. And I think that some businesses could even just say, you know what, you don't have to be in the office, you know? Anyways, radical ideas. But a lot of businesses already do that. And I get that it's not going to work for everybody and that this is like an ideal notion and that
I'm sure there's a lot of businesses that it will work for.
Yeah.
Obviously it won't be 100%, but I'm sure a lot of people would benefit.
I think we're working, honestly, I think that a lot of people hate the millennials and stuff because we're that subset of the population right now that didn't have the easiest time getting employed, you know, and that didn't just walk right into a job.
Yeah.
So now when we have a job, we feel kind of like, you know what, that I'm going to do the best I can at that job or whatever, but I also deserve, I don't know. I feel like there's certain things that our generation is demanding that other generations, you know, maybe look down on.
Yeah.
But really it's because the times are changing and we've shifted ourselves mentally to go from, you know, okay, workplace is just a workplace to now, what's my workplace going to do for my wellness and my health? And I think that's really cool. And, you know, anyone could look down on it, but you can't look down on a whole entire social change.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, a
Paradigm
social
shift,
adjustment. That's pretty
speak,
important.
Yeah.
And if you're going to ignore that, then sorry, but like you were also, you know, part of the generations that fought for women's rights and made huge movements.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
you can't negate what the movement of another generation is going to be
That's true.
and what their philosophy is.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like it. Zip it!
Yeah. Well, I feel that's a pretty nice inspirational way to end things.
Right? And on a beautiful note, I think this was I tried to make it a more fun podcast.
Yeah, it's a little lighter than last time.
A little
Talking
lighter.
about quantum physics.
Loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
Everybody, you have a fabulous week. I don't know, when were we releasing this?
Probably Wednesday.
Have a great half of the week.
Yeah. Have a great Thursday tomorrow.
Have a great Thursday tomorrow and a great weekend. This is GrayVee on the City, signing off.
Cheers.
Cheers.